Take a breath. That was India Ari. She said, can you remember your healing is in your hands? Can we remember that our healing is in our hands? Just let it go. Just let it go and set yourself free. That's delicious. And Chris, I love that you grounded us in divine love. I surrender all of this to you. I ask for balance and clarity about what is mine to do. I send you out to every person in the world that needs you. Whew, I'm going to carry that with me. I'm going to carry that with me, Chris. Thank you so much. So our theme is healing this month. And I think that what the world needs now is some healing. And I think what we need now is some healing, because the world is just a reflection of what's up for us individually and collectively. So before I get into the message, I just want to acknowledge my amazing, and I'm claiming them right now, y'all. I know they belong to all of us, but I'm claiming them right now. Our amazing practitioner core, Chris, Jan, Rev Joan. Last Sunday's practitioner service was magnificent. Magnificent. The way in which you all just set the table for everyone to speak from a place of insanity and sanity, and to know that all is well, no matter where you may be sitting at the time, in the insanity chair or the insanity or the sanity chair. It is all good. It is all good, because there is something for us to receive from both of those places. So thank you all so very much. And thank you to those of you who shared from such a vulnerable and transparent place. And Chris, something that you said just brought me to tears last Sunday, that we have created a safe space for us to show up and to be vulnerable with each other. And what I know is that that is not present everywhere. It's not present in many community and spiritual centers. So the fact that we have co-created that together just it's a big old hallelujah for me, y'all. A big old hallelujah. So thank you, thank you, thank you, each and every one of you. So our theme is healing, and our topic today is feel your feelings, heal your life, and also feel your feelings, change your life, which is a play on Ernest Holmes' famous quote, change your thinking, change your life. So I'm going to be referencing both Ernest Holmes and Pentis Hensfield, her book, What It Takes to Heal, which is an amazing book. And I'm so happy to be participating in the CSL book study, as many of you are. And I hope that you're receiving some benefit from it as well. The subtitle to her book, What It Takes to Heal, is How Transforming Ourselves Can Change the World. The world transforms when we transform. It's not the other way around. It's not the other way around. And we really need to get that. So I'm going to start with definitions. No surprise there, right, y'all? And so today I'm going to share 3 definitions of healing. The first is from the dictionary: to make free from injury or disease, to make sound or whole, to make well again, to restore health, and to cause an undesirable condition to be overcome. So I want us to hold on to whole and to cause an undesirable condition to be overcome. This is the definition that Prentice gives in the book, What It Takes to Heal. Healing is the process, often lifelong, of restoring and reawakening the capacities for safety, belonging, and dignity on the other side of trauma. And the third definition is from Ernest Holmes. He said, to heal means to make whole. To heal means to make whole. And the origin of the word heal is whole. Now, if you recall, when I shared the definitions and the origin of the word sanity last month, the origins of the word sanity is healthy. And the origin of the word healthy is wholeness. So healing and wholeness are like siblings, right? It's very challenging to feel whole when you're not in a place of sanity. Yes? So Ernest Holmes extends his definition of healing with this. He said, healing is the result of clear thinking and logical reasoning, which presents itself to consciousness and is acted upon by it. So what I'm pulling out of that is the action part. We have to be engaged in our healing. It just, although for some it does, it just poof, healed, right? But for many of us, it is work. I can't think of any other word. It takes something for us to do. We are involved in it. So when we feel our feelings, and we know that by feeling our feelings, we are positioning ourselves to heal and to change our lives. And Pinterest says this, the more we can act from both our thinking and feeling grounded in our own felt sense, the more we might say that we are embodied. So we embody healing. It's not something that happens to us. We embody it. We be healing. I know that's not proper English. I am healing. How about that? And Ernest said, healing is not a process, but a revelation. I love this. Healing is not a process, but a revelation, for the revealing of the perfect person always heals. There may be a process in healing, but not a process of healing. The process in healing is the mental work and the time it takes for one to realize their perfectness. So this distinction that Ernest Holmes is making in the Science of Mind text, that there may be a process in healing, but there's not a process of healing. So process in, process of. And that reminds me of faith in God and faith of God, right? Does that ring a bell? And so I love this story that Ernest Holmes shares in The Science of Mind. He's relaying the story of Jesus when Jesus explained to his disciples that they had failed to heal because of their lack of faith. And the disciples protested that they did have faith. They had faith in God. And so Jesus explained to them that having faith in God was insufficient, that they must have the faith of God. The faith of God is very different from a faith in God. The faith of God is God. The process of healing is healing. And somewhere along the line of our spiritual evolution, this transition from gradually taking place where we shall cease from having a faith in and shall have the faith of. Always in the degree as this happens, a demonstration takes place. So there are also degrees. Yes, there's levels, there's depth. And so sometimes how this appears to us and how we may experience it is as, I thought I healed that, right? What- It's coming again. What are you doing? I thought I was done with you, right? But there's degrees. So at the point wherever we were in our evolution is where we were able to heal to a certain degree. So it's kind of like peeling, 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 digging, 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 digging until we get to the root again. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So there's always degrees as this happens. A healing does take place. A healing does take place. The process in healing is also feeling work and the time it takes for one to realize and embody their wholeness again. We embody our wholeness again. And one of the ways that we embody our wholeness again, the most effective way that I have experienced in my life is feeling my feelings. It's feeling my feelings. The process of healing is the revelation that is contained within my feelings, within my emotions. When I was a little girl, I was told what emotions I could display, right? I see many heads shaking. And I would really love if you can put your cameras on. I would really just love to see your faces. If you can, no pressure. I just really like to see you. So I recently did a sip about feeling. And one of the things that I said was, you can't heal if you don't deal with what you feel. So it is a feeling, a dealing, and a healing. You don't deal, you're not going to heal. You don't feel, you're not going to heal. So if you can't heal, you don't deal with what you feel. Pinterest says this: feeling is the conscious allowance of emotions, letting them run through us so that we digest them and understand the message they offer. I'm going to read that one more time. Feeling is the conscious allowance of emotion, letting them run through us so that we can digest them and understand the message they offer. So we are digesting it. Many of us have indigestion because there is a block. There is something that is a barrier to us fully taking in the full breadth of our feelings and to feel the emotion of it. So I want to share a quick story, and I might have shared it before. And hopefully, if you've heard it before, you're hearing it from a different place today. So I have twin girls, and Marco and I think, do a pretty good job at parenting. And so one day we were having this conversation about money, and they get an allowance, and oftentimes they go through their allowance and then they'll text me and say, "Mommy, could you send me $10?" And mommy sends them $10. "Mommy, could you send me $5?" Mommy sends them $5. So one day I was with Marco and this was happening. He was like, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, the girls just need some money." He said, "Don't send them any more Don't Did they get their allowance?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Then no, don't send them any more money." And I said, "No, like I'm gonna send it to them." So I did, right? He was like, why are you sending the money?" I said, "Because they need money." And so we started first just having like a conversation, a regular conversation. And before I knew it, it escalated for me. And I was upset. And I could feel myself getting really heated. And I could feel myself about to go off on my husband about giving our girls money, right? And so I know myself well enough now to know that I need a break. I don't want to say anything that's going to hurt you, because sometimes my tongue could cut like a knife. I said, let's just take a moment. Let me regroup. I told him this. Let me just give me a minute, because the way I'm feeling and our conversation doesn't match up. My feelings about this is up here, but the conversation is here. Like, why am I escalating? What is happening right now? So I went upstairs and I, went in my office and I just was sitting there, just saying, like, what is this? Like, I'm feeling really upset. There was some fear there. Um, there was just a lot of emotion. And I sat there and I breathed. And what helps me to really get in touch with my feelings is to write. So I started writing and I just started asking myself questions. And what came up for me was my little girl. And remembering when I was little, we didn't have any money. And my mother would make our lunch and we would eat lunch that my mother made. But many of my friends, especially when I got into like middle school and high school, many of my friends would go to the pizza shop and get pizza and a soda. And I never had money to do that. And it made me feel less than. It made me feel really, really small. And I didn't want my girls to feel that way. But I didn't realize that that's what I was playing out with them unknowingly. And so when I realized these feelings that I'm feeling are not of a 56, 57-year-old woman. These are feelings from like a 10, 11, 12-year-old, 13, 14, 15-year-old. And I was playing that out as a teenager with Marco. So he was not engaging with his wife. He was engaging with teenage Melissa. And teenage Melissa was something. So this was an opportunity for me to heal this, for me to really feel the feeling of it, because the feeling was up. It was right there. And to let the little girl within me know how valuable she is, that my value and worth is not related in any way, shape, or form to if I could buy a pizza and a soda. It wasn't related to how much money my mother had or didn't have. It wasn't related to any of that. My worth is related to just me, being here, breathing. I was born worthy. And there is no amount of money in the world that can change that. So feeling my feelings, recognizing when our feelings are up, especially when they are not matching with what is really happening, That is an opportunity for us to check in with ourselves. And see, this is one of the reasons why we're in relationship with other people, because these interactions trigger feelings. And instead of me wanting to blame Marco, right? Because this could have taken a whole different turn. We take a pause, a sacred pause, because we are sacred. And we minister to ourselves, or we reach out to a practitioner, or we reach out to a trusted friend who can hold us as we move through the process of healing by having the faith of God, because we know the truth of who and whose we are. So we get to take it deeper. I thought I had healed that. But bam, there it was. And so I got to take it deeper within me and to just be with me, little me, and just give myself some praise and encouragement. So there's always an opportunity for us to feel into truth, reality, with a capital T and a capital R. To feel into what is truly there for us. There is always an opportunity, always an opportunity. So the opportunity that I received was an opportunity to create a new reality for myself in relationship, not just with myself, but also in the way in which I mother my girls and how I mother the little girl within me. So if there's something up for you right now, don't push it away. Bring it closer. Because what I know to be true is that we have the resources within us. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming up. You can deal with whatever it is now. That is the reason why it's coming up now. So let us not ignore it. Ernest says the creative process responds to feelings more quickly than to any other mental attitude. So I could have gone upstairs and thought about it. Let me think about this. Let me analyze this. Let me rationalize this and go into analysis paralysis about it. But instead, go deeper in the feeling. Peel the feeling back. When did I feel this before? And keep peeling it back, peeling it back, peeling it back. You may need to do this with a therapist. You may need to do this with a practitioner. But we get to peel it back because the creative process responds to feeling more quickly than to any other mental attitude. Feel the reality of what we are experiencing. He said this reality is felt as we become more and more convinced that spirit responds to us. Ask for guidance. What do I do now, God? Write. What do I write? Ask a question. And it comes. It comes. It's there. Pinterest writes, for healing to take place, for it to be felt, for it to root, remake, and rearrange us, it has to happen not only in the realm of our thinking, but in the soil of our bodies. Healing has to be embodied. Our bodies hold so much. I see you, Chris. Our bodies hold so much information for us. It's all in there. Where are you feeling it? I felt it in my chest. When I went upstairs to take a deep breath, it was difficult for me to take a deep breath at first. It felt really tight. And sometimes that could feel scary for us, and we'll just stop. But don't stop, because you're not in it alone. So you take another breath and another breath. And soon you will see it will start loosening up. It will start opening. You might feel it in your shoulders. You might feel it in your stomach. You will feel it in your body. And some are so disconnected from their bodies that they don't know how to embody their bodies and need support. So the little girl within me was not broken. This is one of my pet peeves, y'all. When people say that they're broken, it just really gets under my skin. None of us are broken. None of us are broken. She was wounded, yes. Yes, she was wounded, but she wasn't broken. Pinterest says are injuries that happen to the human spirit and how we twist and wind a life around our wounds. These injuries happen in our lives, and we twist and we wind a life around our wounds. This is our opportunity for us to untwist it, right? To unwind it, to unravel it, to dig it up, to excavate it, so that we are living a life of healing, not a life of wounds. So did I know that I was doing this? I was unconscious about it. I wasn't aware of it. But you know who knew? My feelings knew. The little girl within me knew. And that disconnect connected. That disconnect connected. It connected. Now, my girls ain't so happy about this. And I can't say I'm 100% say no all the time, because I don't. But it's much better, right? It's much better. So what I'm sharing with you, and the reason why I share personal stories with you, is that I hope that you can apply it to your life. I'm hoping that these principles become applicable to you. It's not just out there, it's in here. We get to use it. We get to feel the faith of God, not as an idea, as a reality, as a felt reality. So healing is the revealing of wholeness. We are whole no matter what. We are not broken. We are whole no matter what. We may feel wounded. We may feel hurt. We may feel discombobulated at times. It's a feeling. It is not who we are. So please, if you ever hear yourself say, affirm, declare, invoke, I am broken, please cancel that and say, I am whole, and feel it. Feel it. My feelings are coming up for healing. So I'm going to end this with a quote that Pinterest included in her chapter on feelings and the body. And it's a quote from Audre Lorde, the amazing poet, from one of her essays, Poetry is Not a Luxury. One of the lines in that essay is, I feel, therefore I can be free. I feel, therefore I can be free. So we feel our feelings, we change our lives, we feel our feelings, we heal our lives. Just let it go and set yourself free. Let us remember that healing is in our hands. So I want to submit this by dedicating this song to the little ones within us, the little ones that may be feeling something that they don't quite understand. But now that we are adults, we can minister to that little one and honor all of those feelings. So just for a moment, tap into that